Now, the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Miss Myrna Loy, a star of Library Book, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you Miss Myrna Loy in Library Book. A remarkable tale of suspense.
I'll get it, Maggie. Public Library, Hillcrest Branch. Miss Roberts speaking. No, I'm sorry. We do not carry the racing form. We do not carry even the current racing form, much less those published in 1925. I know nothing whatever of man-of-war's activities. Well, you'll have to consult another source to win your wager. Goodbye. Yes?
Miss, do I give mine book back here?
Yes, this is the return desk. Let me see. That's 2 days overdue. You owe 4 cents, Mrs. Rudnick.
It's a lot of reading. My daughter read it to me nights. Here's the 4 cents, miss.
Thank you.
Oh, it was a grand book, though. Really grand.
Gone with the wind, I suppose. I personally very seldom read bestsellers.
It surely is romantic. I wonder, miss, do you know what happens on page 931?
Page 931?
Yes, we don't know to this day whether Scarlett, she goes to Melanie's party for Ashley, or page 931 and 932 are missing. So we were wondering if...
Missing? Good heavens, let me see.
We just give anything to know if Scarlett went to the party.
One moment, Mrs. Rudnick.
Huh?
The pages are missing. One leaf has been torn or cut from this book. This is vandalism.
It's what?
A page has been deliberately ripped out.
Oh.
I'll have to ask you for your reader's card.
But we didn't do it.
One moment, please. Miss Hughes.
Yeah?
Miss Hughes, will you please look up the list price of this book, Gone with the Wind?
Yeah, sure. Just a second.
You see, Mrs. Rudnick, you will have to pay the cost of the book or lose all library privileges until you do.
Oh, but please, miss, we didn't do it.
It's $1.49, Prudence.
I don't pay no $1.49 because I didn't do it.
How'd you find out about the damage, Prudence?
Mrs. Rudnick called my attention to it, fortunately.
Oh. Well, if she tore out the page, she wouldn't have told you.
No. You see, miss?
But the rules...
Oh, relax, Prudence.
Well... Very well, Mrs. Rudnick. I'll investigate further. In the meantime, you may continue to use your card.
Oh, thank you, miss. Thank you so much. And goodbye.
Goodbye. Maggie, why must you interfere like that? You know the rules perfectly well.
Yeah, sure, but they don't make sense.
That's not for us to say. She should have reported before she took the book out.
Well, now, that's silly. How could you report the page was torn out before she read the book?
Well, maybe you're right.
I don't know why you raise such a dust about it anyhow.
Because if I don't find out who did tear the book, I'll have to pay. And I don't want to spend $1.49 on a bestseller.
Hey.
Take care of that boy, Maggie.
Okay. What'll it be?
These here.
You want to take these out? All of them?
Sure, here's my card.
Oh. Tarzan of the Apes, Tarzan Triumphant, Tarzan and the Leopard Men, Tarzan and the Forbidden City, Tarzan the Invincible, Tarzan... Morning Becomes Electra.
Yeah, I'm making a radio, a walkie-talkie.
Oh, look, I haven't read this myself, but I don't think it's going to help you.
No? It says Electra.
Yeah, well, anyway, you got one too many books.
Okay, I'll take the electric book out when I bring these back. I'll bring them back tomorrow, so save it.
5 books, and he'll bring them back tomorrow. Did you get that, Prudence? 5 books, and the kids... Prudence, what are you doing?
It's very strange. It's really very strange.
Are you still mooning over that missing page? In Gone with the Wind?
Yes. You know, whoever ripped that page out also underlined words on the following page 933.
Yeah? What kind of words?
Oh, they don't seem to mean anything. Words like anyone, merrily, hardly. They've been underlined by little scratches in the paper.
Oh. Well, maybe somebody was cutting out cookies on top of the book. Come on, huh? It's past closing time.
I've got to find out what's on page 931. Well, I can buy a copy of this book on my way home, and I will.
Buy it? I thought you wouldn't spend dough on a bestseller.
Well, I shouldn't. But this annoys me. It's vandalism. And besides, I have an odd feeling, a feeling that something's wrong. Yes, I have a definite premonition.
Prudence, will you put that book away and come to bed?
All right, Maggie. I guess you win.
Oh, was cookies?
No, it was words. I fastened the 2 pages together and made the marks back through. But these words don't mean anything either. Cure, wait, poor. I think they were cut out of the book because the marks are above and below each word.
Sure, that's kid stuff. You know, cut out words and paste them to write a letter.
Cut them out? Well, of course. Let's see. There's poor, your, 50, instructions, her, Melanie.
Oh, Melanie. That was Olivia de Havilland in the picture.
Really? I wouldn't know. Now, I'll start with the word 50. It's an adjective and must modify something.
Oh, Natch.
50 health. No. 50 instructions. Could be, but it's awkward. 50 grand. Well, it's slang, but it does mean something.
I'll tell the world 50 grand means something.
Now, a noun must be followed by a verb. 50 grand to wait. Or to cure. I'll try that. 50 grand to cure.
That's a plenty expensive cure, that.
Now, her. 50 grand to cure her.
Melanie. A girl's name.
Melanie, why, yes. All the other words pair off perfectly now. Your Melanie, poor health, wait, instructions.
50 grand to cure her.
That's it, Maggie. The words couldn't possibly go in any other order.
Yeah. So, now you've solved the puzzle. Let's get to bed.
Well, all right. I suppose I have to wait until the morning to call the police.
The police? Just because a book was torn?
No, because it's a ransom note.
Oh, Prudence.
But can't you see? That's what it says. Some poor girl named Melanie has been kidnapped and is being held for ransom for 50 grand. It's our duty as citizens to help her.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Miss Myrna Loy in Library Book by Cornell Woolrich. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. Elsa Maxwell, the noted hostess, says, every woman knows men love good home cooking, simple dishes cooked well, like beef with pan-browned potatoes, a rich stew piping hot, a spaghetti with a lively sauce. And here's a secret to really make simple food more tempting, more enjoyable. Serve cool Roma California Burgundy. So delightful, so delicious, so distinguished. Enjoy Roma Burgundy with your dinner tomorrow night. It adds so much to the pleasure of dining. Roma wines are always unvaryingly good, full of fragrance and finer tasting, the result of carefully selected grapes gathered at peak of flavor fullness from California's choicest vineyards, quickly but gently pressed, then unhurriedly guided to perfection by Roma's ancient winemaking skill, and bottled at Roma's famed wineries. Remember, because of uniformly fine quality at reasonable cost, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. Always ask for Roma ROMA, Roma Wines.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Myrna Loy as Prudence Roberts in Library Book, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Miss Roberts, I'm sorry I couldn't get here till this late. I'm Lieutenant Murphy from headquarters.
Oh, you're a detective?
Well, that's what my paycheck says, ma'am.
Oh, well, of course, you're not in uniform. But come over here behind my desk. I want to show you something.
Yes, ma'am?
Has anyone been kidnapped lately?
Huh? What?
Anyone named Melanie? Do you know?
Why?
Well, this book came back to the library damaged, and I deciphered a kidnap message from the damaged page. See? Read it.
You deciphered this note?
You're laughing at me. I want to do my duty, and you laugh.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. We'll check on... Well, say, what do you know?
Yes? What is it?
Oh, nothing, miss. You took your glasses off, that's all. What'd you say your name was again, miss?
My name is Miss Prudence Roberts. What has that got to do with this?
Well, we have to know the source of our information. Yeah, this does look like a ransom note now that I look at it.
Of course it does.
But we haven't any case on deck right now that this could possibly fit into. I never heard of a ransom note without a kidnap case.
Oh, you haven't. Very well. I'm sorry I bothered you. We have to close the library now, so good evening.
Just a minute, miss. What are you going to do?
I'm going to find out who damaged this book. Do you see this card? These are all the people who have taken the book out. 6 altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Lucille Baumgarten, August Beasley, Walter Evans,
Well,
Jeanette
that's
Craig.
fine, miss. Look, maybe I could drop around and see how you're making out. Tomorrow?
No, I wouldn't inconvenience you. You needn't bother.
Gee, miss, you talk such good English.
I try to.
Well, look, could I see you home? It's pretty late, you know.
I feel quite safe, thank you. The worst that ever happened to me was one night when a vulgar masher spoke to me. He said, "Hi, Toots." Imagine.
Oh. Did you have your glasses on?
Why, come to think of it, that was the time I'd left them to be repaired. How very peculiar.
Yeah. Say, miss, how would you like to see a picture tonight with me, huh?
I wouldn't think of going out with someone I've met only once, Lieutenant.
Oh, yeah. I guess you wouldn't.
And besides, because the police of this city are obviously so inefficient, I have a great deal of work to do. Yes, Lieutenant Murphy, I'm going to be very busy tonight. Miss Baumgarten, I only wanted to make sure. You're sure the page was missing when you read it?
Oh, it was missing, all right. I remember because it took me quite a while to figure out what happened, but I finally did, so it didn't worry me. Say, I'm not going to be in any trouble over this, am I?
No, it was damaged by someone before you.
But, miss, I didn't even read the book. I saw the name on it, see? Gone with the Wind. So I thought it was about airplanes. I'm building a glider, but when I started to read it, criminally. I think they ought to name books so you know what you're getting. It'd save a lot of trouble.
My dear young lady, a man of my age and education is aware of the value of books and cares for them properly, even novels. Yes, I remember that page was missing. Obviously ripped out, an act of wanton destruction. Shocking.
Yes, what do you want?
Does Miss Jeanette Craig live here?
What's that?
Does Miss Jeanette Craig live here?
She did. She moved.
Ah, when did she move?
Oh, about 2 weeks ago, Monday, I think. Yes, on the 17th.
But she returned this book on the 18th.
That book? Oh, no, I was the one that returned that for her. I was cleaning out a room and I found it.
Well, I work in the public library, and this book was damaged. I wanted to speak to Miss Craig about it.
Oh, well, all I know is that she didn't expect to go when she did. Her room still paid for her, and she left most of her things.
Ah.
Someone took sick and sent for her, they said. They called for her late one night, and off she went in a rush with 2 men.
But if she left her belongings, she'll be coming back for them.
Well, I guess she will, or she'll send for them.
When did you say her room would be available?
Her room?
Yes, I'm thinking of moving, and I like this neighborhood, and I thought...
Oh, well, come right in and I'll show it to you. Now, it's real nice, first floor. Careful, it's dark in these halls. I'm used to it, and I can roam around with my eyes shut and still find my way. Now, this was her room. Come in. It's real nice in the daytime.
Is the closet good and deep?
Well, go ahead and look. That's her things in there, and some real nice things, too. I don't see how they do it, being a nightclub dancer.
Yes, lovely things. Huh. Funny. This monogram is MS, and on this bag, too. Those aren't her initials.
Oh, you know how it is. These girls lend each other their clothes. Probably belongs to a friend of hers.
Did you ever hear her mention Melanie?
Oh, no, we don't allow any eating in the rooms.
Well, I'll take it, but I have a roommate.
That's all right with me.
Fine. I'll get her, and we'll move in tonight.
Tonight? Well, all right. I'll move Miss Craig's things into my room, then.
Oh, no. Leave them right here. I mean, you don't have to bother. We'll have plenty of space. The closet is so large.
Well, just as you say.
And anyway, I want to know when someone comes for her things, because I do want to find out where Miss Craig is. You see, I'm terribly anxious about the book. I really am.
Oh, Prudence, you and your mystery. We move out of a perfectly good apartment into a room next door to a pool hall.
But I have to find out where Jeanette Craig is.
Even when the lights are out, we have that darn neon sign. Chop Suey. Chop Suey.
But don't you think it's strange, Maggie? All her things initialed MS instead of JC. M could stand for...
Hey, listen. What's that?
Shh. Someone's unlocking the door.
Holy smoke.
Someone's come for her clothes. I know it. Yes? What do you want?
Well, I didn't expect to see.
We rented this room today. Wait, I'll turn on the light. Now, what do you want?
Well, you see, I was sent to get something...
How'd you get a key?
Huh?
I know. You've come for Miss Craig's things. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, miss, that's right. It's a good thing you rented the room because I come to pay up and settle everything. This way it's going to be a lot easier.
This way you can just take the things. They're right here in the closet. I'll help you.
Yeah? Well, thanks.
Here.
Huh? What did you...
It's quite a load, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks, miss.
You'll have to make 2 trips.
Yeah, okay, sure.
There's so many things.
Yeah, well, I'll be right back as soon as I get these in the car.
Quick, Maggie. I have to dress. Help me.
Well, why didn't you ask him where this
I can't
girl...
ask him. Now, look, Maggie. I'm going to slip out now. While he's in here, I'm going downstairs.
Why are you messing in this?
And I want you to cover up for me and delay him as long as possible.
Oh, jeepers. What are you going to do?
Come here. Look out the window. See his car down there, the long black one?
Yeah, I see it.
Well, I'm going to get in that taxi and follow him. Driver, he's awfully far ahead.
Lady, I know this game backwards. It's been 20 miles and I haven't lost him yet.
Keep close watch. He may turn off in an effort to evade us.
I'll see him. Hey, what's the matter? He move out on you, huh? Well, I don't blame you for being sore. But, lady, there's all kinds of angles.
I beg your pardon.
For instance, I notice you wear glasses. Now, there's a saying. Men never make passes at girls who wear...
Please, will you confine yourself to your driving?
Okay. Hey, look, he turned.
Oh, hurry. Why? We're way out in the country.
Oh, you said it. He's turning off again, up ahead. Probably a driveway.
Pull up at the entrance.
Okay. Well, this must be it. There's a house, and there's the car.
Oh, what a lonely-looking place.
Yeah. Now what?
Well, you wait here, driver.
1 minute, lady. The time has come to tell you I got you clocked at $7.85.
That much? And I forgot my pocketbook.
I thought so, the old game.
But I have money at home.
Outside. You heard me? Outside. That's right. Now, if you was a man, I'd take it out of your jaw. As it is.
Oh, please. You aren't going to leave me.
Yeah. You're gonna walk.
But you can't leave me here.
Lady, I can. Anyway, they might have a phone in the house.
I don't even know where I am.
I'll tell you where you are, baby. You're on your own.
Oh, to think anyone could be so... I'll report you.
Hey, you.
What? Oh, good heavens.
Quick, come closer, please.
All right.
Oh, please, take me away from here. Please help me get away from here.
Who are you?
Melanie Stevenson. They won't let me go. I think they're going to kill me.
Melanie? Ah. But where is Miss Craig?
I'm Miss Craig. Oh, please, I'll tell you later, but get me out of here.
Well, can you climb through and drop from the sill?
No, I'm chained to the bed. Oh, please, hurry. Bring someone back with you. That's the only way I can get out of here.
All right. I'll run back and phone Lieutenant Murphy, and the police will...
Oh, no, they won't. Come in, Toots, and stay a while.
But you see,
Oh, hello. So we meet again. So you had a nice long ride following me, huh? Get in.
Oh, but you can't...
No, don't be bashful. You ain't going nowhere else from here. Not even to phone your friend, Lieutenant Murphy. You've reached the end of the road, babe. Positively the end of the road.
Oh, Murphy, close the door and sit down. This is important.
Okay, Captain. Wow, what's up?
It's a kidnapping case, Murphy. I only hope we're not too late. That man who just left my office was Martin Stevenson.
Yeah, who's been kidnapped?
His daughter. This is the story. She ran away from home a few months ago to work in a nightclub. Took another name. Didn't even let her family know where she was living. That's why they didn't know when she disappeared, so it wasn't reported until now.
How'd she disappear?
Well, her father doesn't know. But it looks like someone recognized her in the club, knew the Stevensons had dough, and grabbed her. Well, first thing the old man knows, he gets a ransom note. You know, the usual kind, words cut out of something and pasted on paper to look like a telegram.
Words pasted on... Captain, what was the daughter's name?
Melanie, I think.
Melanie. Chief, you should have had her ought to read more, like me.
Huh?
It's Melanie. Like in Gone with the Wind. She's the same note. The same note.
What are you raving about?
The note that librarian, Miss Roberts, called us about. Remember I told you? Remember what a laugh it handed us?
Yeah, say, that's right. Well, she must be a pretty smart girl. Hey, maybe we ought to talk to her.
Yeah, just a minute. I got her phone number. I'll call her up.
Oh, so you got her phone number.
Huh?
I thought you said she wears glasses.
Well, I got it, Cap, just in case I turned up any information.
Yeah.
That's funny. She don't answer.
Well, she might know one or two people besides you, Murph.
Yeah, but she's got a roommate. Oh, well, I guess I can see her in the morning. That's soon enough.
Oh, Prudence, they're going to kill us. I know it. They're sure you already went to the police. They're desperate. Maybe tonight they'll do it.
I guess they could kill us and still collect the ransom. But I don't think... No, they won't dare.
What are you doing?
Still trying to get this chain off my wrist. If I could open the padlock...
Oh,
darn
if you'd only moved away from the window sooner, Hey. What's that?
Someone on the stairs. They're carrying something up. Listen.
Have you got enough, Duke? You want to pour a lot on the stairs?
A lot of what?
Plenty. I got plenty.
What's that smell, Prudence? It's like...
Gasoline.
Oh, no.
Oh, they couldn't do that.
Come on, Duke. Get in the car. I got to start.
Oh, they're going to burn us alive.
Shh. I want to hear.
Be right with you as soon as I give me a clip in the head.
Why worry? The smoke will get them. Come on.
No, I'm soft-hearted. Won't take a minute.
Oh, Prudence.
Shh. Get under the bed, quick. That's right, way back. Now, don't make a sound.
Okay. Okay, Duke, step on it.
All right, ladies, where are you? Oh, I don't need a light to find you. You're so attached to that bed. Come on, where are you? So you're being cute. Well, that ain't going to help any because you trip me up, you little...
Bully, you unutterable bully. This is a good, strong shoe, and I'm going to... Trying to hit two helpless girls. Prudence, the fire, look.
Oh, I'm getting out of here. Just have it your way, babe. Just have it your way.
Melanie. Melanie, will you stop that awful noise?
I don't want to die like this. I don't want to die like
Well, neither do I, but I have my dignity.
Help!
Hush. Please, hush. I want to see what they do.
What difference does it make they're leaving?
Yes, they're in the car, but a car's pulling up in front. Melanie, 2 cars. They've come. They've found us. The police. Lieutenant Murphy and 2 Carlos. Listen. That's it, Lieutenant. That's the way.
Jump!
They've caught both of them, Eddie and Duke. It's wonderful. Lieutenant Murphy and Maggie's with him. That's how we knew.
Come on, jump, Miss Roberts!
We can't jump, Lieutenant. We're chained to the bed. He's coming up.
Oh, but can he get through? The stairs are full of smoke.
Can he get through, Lieutenant Murphy? Listen, fire won't stop him. We're in here. Over here in the corner.
Where's the padlock?
Right here, between us.
Okay, now look, I'm going to smash it with this flashlight, I hope. Turn your face. There, that does it. It's open. Are you Melanie Stevenson?
Yes.
Yeah, now look, you're going to have to jump. They'll break your fall. They got a net down
Oh, I
there.
can't. I'm afraid.
Your father's down there.
Father?
Yeah, now come on, as a girl. Up on the ledge.
I'm afraid.
That's right. Now don't let the fire confuse you.
Right.
Just push off. That's it. Okay.
Did they catch her?
Yeah, sure. Now, next.
All right.
You're not afraid, are you, Miss Roberts?
Afraid? No? Really, Lieutenant Murphy? Why could I?
Miss Roberts. Prudence. Oh, well, what do you know? After all this, she faints.
It's awfully nice of you to drive me home, Lieutenant.
Oh, forget it. I'm just thankful I had enough sense to try and find you tonight.
How did you find me?
Well, first I went to your apartment, and from there I found where you moved to. And Maggie knew which cab you took tonight, and, well, after that it was pie.
It was so melodramatic the way you got there just in time.
Yeah? Oh, you know, I can't get over the way you talk, Miss Roberts. Every word so clear, just like a poem.
Poem.
Yeah, that's what I said. Poem. Oh, I certainly hope I'm going to see you some now that the excitement's over.
Well,
Look, there's a real highbrow picture showing right near your place. I'd sure like to take you to.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, I just thought I'd ask.
But if you know of a good, fast murder picture with a lot of shooting...
Miss Roberts.
Can that, Miss Roberts?
Prudence. Hey, wait, what are you doing?
I'm throwing my glasses out of the window. From now on, call me Toots.
Roma Wines have brought you Myrna Loy as star of Library Book, tonight's study in Suspense.
This is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines, the sponsor of Suspense. With family and friends dropping in more and more, with more frequent entertaining at home, here's a tip from famed hostess Elsa Maxwell. She says, I always welcome friends and guests with Roma California Sherry served cool. There is nothing so friendly, so heartwarming as delicious, glorious golden amber Roma Sherry. Rich in natural fragrance and nutty, mellow taste. The perfect first call for dinner. Most enjoyable later in the evening, too. Easier to serve than tea or coffee. Yes, friends, Because of Roma's goodness, smart hostesses and thrifty housewives from Malibu to Main Street prefer Roma to any other wine. Enjoy Roma regularly. For better cocktails, use full-flavored Roma vermouth, made and bottled in California, yet surprisingly low-priced. Try Roma vermouth soon, won't you?
Miss Myrna Loy will soon be seen in the Jack Skirball, Bruce Manning production, A Genius in the Family. Next Thursday, you will hear Clifton Webb as star of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Presented by Roma Wines, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Joseph Cotton as star of The Earth is Made of Glass, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you Mr. Joseph Cotton in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Good morning, Dr. West.
Good morning, Miss Adams.
Well, there's one bed vacant this morning. I see that 436 Mr. Steele died, 4 a.m.
Yes, I was there. Coronary thrombosis.
You're not terribly concerned, Dr. West?
Why should I be especially concerned?
Well, the day nurse, Miss Rosenberg, said that you and Mr. Steele...
You girls gossip too much.
Yes, Doctor. But I understand there's no family. What am I going to do with Mr. Steele's things?
What things?
Well, his overcoat. This parcel was in it. This book. He said it was his journal, and he told Miss Rosenberg you would have it. He said it had important scientific data.
Well, give it here.
Yes, Doctor.
Journal of Richard Thomas Steele. Important scientific data, I'll bet. I still can't figure out what was eating that guy. What he had to say to me that was so darned important. Why do people want to keep diaries? July 26th, not a fruitful day. The weather this morning was heavy, sticky. Lord knows what crazy stuff he's written here.
July 26th, not a fruitful day. The weather this morning was heavy, sticky. I stayed indoors with the blinds drawn, spent 3.5 hours arranging and cataloging a shipment of books. And I must say I gloated over my new volume of Bacon, Gold Leaf, Uncut, 1836, a treasure. In the afternoon, I ventured out to play chess with Elliot. He's an uninspired player and a worse conversationalist. I'm appalled that a man of Eliot's pretensions still wallows in 18th and 19th century thought patterns, twaddle and sentimentality. He's totally unaware of the potentialities of modern science. It was so apparent to me when we got into that argument over Ralph Waldo Emerson. I was thumbing through a volume he had of Emerson's essays, a cheap reprint at that. And I was annoyed by a paragraph in the essay called Compensation. I must have snorted because Eliot fairly leaped at me.
Well, certainly I think there's compensation for everything. Tit for tat, measure for measure, love for love.
You contend, Eliot, that no matter what a man does, it comes back to him?
One way or another, yes, it does.
Then if I do good, I get good back?
Yes, I believe that, Richard.
And if I commit a crime, I'm of necessity punished?
Well, it depends what you mean by punishment.
I mean that I will suffer somehow for the evil I do.
Isn't that what Emerson says?
I want to know what you believe.
Well, I believe what he says.
Well, I'll read what he says. Discount the poetry, old man. He used lush language. Emerson says, commit a crime and the earth is made of glass. Commit a crime and it seems as if a coat of snow fell on the ground, such as reveals in the woods the tracks of every partridge and fox and squirrel and mole. You cannot recall the spoken word. You cannot wipe out the foot track. You cannot draw up the ladder so as to leave no inlet or clue. Some damning circumstance always transpires. The laws and substance of nature, water, snow, wind, gravitation, become penalties to the thief. Well, Elliot?
Beautiful, isn't it? You read very well.
Don't try to turn me off, Elliot. We're discussing his theory.
I don't see how there can be any argument. We
know a good deal more than Emerson knew, old fellow, especially about the laws and substances of nature. We've tested the substances, learned control over the laws, the scientific method, Elliot. It cancels out every word your friend Emerson wrote, let's say, in compensation.
Oh, the scientific method. I'd like to see it applied to some situations in nature, or to human nature. All right. Say you commit a murder.
Murder, very well. Say I do.
Well, if you aren't caught by the police, and that can be managed by an intelligent man, you still won't escape. Call it your conscience. That's what Emerson means.
But say I commit a laboratory murder.
What kind of a murder is that?
Let me put it this way. When the police catch a murderer, they have found a connection between the murderer and his victim, motive and clues, right?
Mm.
And when a murderer is caught by his conscience, it is still because he is connected with his victim through his emotions.
I agree so far.
Well, how is a murderer caught if he is in no way connected with his victim?
Well, that's not possible.
I don't know. There could be a pure abstract murder, a murder occurring in almost a vacuum, a murder in which the only connection between the two participants is the unadulterated act of killing. July 28th. The weather continues warm, humidity high. Today I roamed around my library, read a little, thought a great deal. It's odd that I should keep referring back to my conversation with Elliot. Abstract murder, a laboratory murder. I jotted down one or two theoretical points today. It will be an amusing project in such hot weather. July 29th. What utter nonsense to think as I have of a laboratory experiment carried out in writing on paper. It's a contradiction in terms. The core of the scientific method is to prove theory in life, so let us prove the possibility of a pure murder. It must be someone met in an emotional and material vacuum. Someone with whom I have no connection, someone whom I have no possible reason to kill. The preparations for such a murder are of necessity classically simple. This afternoon I bought my equipment.
Gloves, sir? What kind of gloves?
Oh, any kind of gloves.
But what do you want them for? Driving? Gardening?
I want gloves I can use for anything.
Well, we call these utility gloves.
Yes, those will be excellent, thank you.
What size, sir?
Any size, medium.
Well, now, these look just
No,
about...
no, I don't want to try them on. I'll take them as they are. Just wrap them up.
Yes, sir. Just as you say.
You know, I'm very fond of a genuine old-fashioned hardware store, Mr. Jeremy. Like yours?
Yes, a lot of people tell me that, Mr. Steele. Yeah. Anything special you're looking for?
I don't know. I suppose I'm just browsing.
Yes.
Oh, what are those? Ice picks?
Yes, sir, and pre-war metal, too. You want one?
No, I have one. Aye, quite a selection. Screwdrivers. There's something I want.
Oh, a knife?
One of those.
Well, to be fair with you now, those are pretty poor knives.
Doesn't matter.
Well, just no darn good as far as I can see.
The best possible recommendation, Mr. Jeremy. I'll take it. A meaningless knife, all-purpose gloves, knife and gloves new, factory-made, uncontaminated by human association, smelling only of the harsh, impersonal machines which turn them out. My first safeguards against the intrusion of emotion. In a laboratory, this procedure would be called controls. To complete the controls, who would it be? I must never see his or her face. I must never know his or her name, age, occupation, thoughts, or desires. I must come into contact with this victim as casually as though we were blown together by the wind. There can be no selection, no volition on my part except the elementary volition necessary to raise my arm to kill. July 30th. The exact record of what has occurred. I must write it down now while it is fresh in my mind. I will be absolutely precise and objective. Very well. Tonight, at some undetermined hour after dinner, I left my house on 74th Street with the new gloves and knife in my right-hand coat pocket. The only external circumstance I noted was that the air was hot, heavy, and still. But after all, everyone is affected equally by weather, so my consciousness of it was no limitation on my experiment. I walked an undetermined number of blocks, taking care to observe no street signs or landmarks. I observed only one thing, that there were many people on the street. In fact, I became aware only vaguely that I was pushing through a rather dense crowd, but I deafened myself completely to any specific words or conversation.
Brilliant recording.
Brilliant. And although I imagine there was traffic passing in the street, I successfully blotted out all sound except for a dull roar. It seemed to me that the ominous heat had increased. The stillness of the air was almost palpable. Perhaps it brought me sooner to the point of completion of my plan. But when I found my progress through the crowd blocked by what I can only describe as a human, I raised my knife and drove it into the back with all my force.
I can't stand it. I can't.
What's the matter with you?
I continued walking without haste, pausing only a fraction of a second to hear.
He's fallen. Get back. Give him air. Give him air.
To hear those few words, he's fallen. Give him air. He needed no air, I knew that. And thus, I heard confirmed my unqualified belief that I had taken without any possible consequence to myself a human being's life.
For Suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Mr. Joseph Cotton in The Earth is Made of Glass by Sylvia Richards. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. First call to my dinners, says Miss Elsa Maxwell, is Roma California Sherry. For this delicious wine is a perfect beginning to a good meal. In fact, this famous hostess goes on to say, Roma Sherry is an ideal wine because you can enjoy it any time of day or night. Gold and amber with a rich nut-like taste. Glorious Roma Sherry is at its most delightful best served cool. Roma Sherry, like all the famous Roma wines, is made from carefully selected grapes from California's choicest vineyards. Grapes gathered at the peak of their flavor goodness, when every grape is hanging firm and full on the vine, then quickly but gently pressed. Finally, by a process as slow and as old as time, brought to delicious liquid perfection by Roma's skilled vintners. Yes, all Roma wines are true wines, always unvaryingly good, bottled at Roma's own famed wineries. Enjoy Roma wines regularly for only pennies a glass. Remember, because of uniformly fine quality at reasonable cost, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. Always ask for Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma Wines.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage Joseph Cotton as Richard Thomas Steele in The Earth is Made of Glass, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
August 1st. I was unable to write my journal yesterday because of the excessive heat. I suffered all day from a headache and a vibration in my ears. I'm writing today only to have on record the final control in my experiment, my laboratory murder. To ensure complete ignorance of the identity of my victim, I shall read no newspapers for a period of 2 or 3 weeks, nor hold conversation with anyone apt to be morbidly interested in murders reported in the tabloid press. Compensation. Tut, tut, Mr. Emerson. August 4th. The heat is unbearable. All day I have felt that odd, heavy vibration in my head. Now also in my arms and body. It is almost constant. 1, 2, 3 rhythm, and sometimes it is a sound as well as a vibration, like the distant sound of the sea. Last night I was kept awake by the throbbing in my head, and toward morning I was subjected to a new agony. Very softly at first, but louder and louder like voices heard in delirium. My head became filled with an almost hysterical babbling.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Appassionata.
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 Brilliant.
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 Appassionata.
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 Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. After an instant, the voices stopped and paused, and they seemed to keep time with the reverberation of my heart. August 8th. I have no need to consult a doctor. Now I know the nature of my illness. Last night I turned to music, trying to drive the unspeakable uproar from my brain. But when I put the records on the machine, the Frank violin sonata, and settled back to hear the first flowing melody of the violin, something happened. The music swelled and changed. It became the Appassionata, Beethoven's Appassionata.
Brilliant.
Then I knew. I turned off the music. The devilish cycle began once more. The sound and voices rose to a bedlam, shrieking like the voices of fiends, rose to a dreadful climax. In spite of every precaution, my murder had not taken place in a vacuum. My shield had been penetrated by those fragments of sound and speech echoing in my ears. Speech about a concert. Yes, I remember now. I read that Schnabel was to play an all-Beethoven concert in Carnegie Hall on July 30th. And the clanging of bells, that was a trolley going by on 7th Avenue. And I'd also heard and identified the roll and crash of summer thunder. That was the sound which preceded and punctuated a woman's scream.
Stand it, I can't! He's fallen! Get back! Get back here!
What's the matter?
Well, it may be possible to drive all this away in time. But the other thing which sets the rhythm for the rest, the pulsing sound I hear. When I drove that knife home into a human being's heart, the vital rhythm of the heart, the mighty leap and contraction of the heart's muscle on the blade of the knife, was transmitted back to me through my hand and remained indelibly recorded in the beat of my own blood. August 11th. While I am still able to reason, I must discover where I erred and act swiftly to correct my error. There is no turning back. The death I caused is a fact. I cannot banish it by wishing, for each day I remember something more. Today, the color of his hair. photograph between the black collar of his coat and his gray hat. I saw it, clipped, silky reddish, and I had an insatiable desire to turn the head to see his face. There is one course left to me. I will reverse my plan. I will learn. I will learn in every possible detail the person whom I killed. Learn to know him. Construct a total portrait. Then I will attempt to discard this portrait in its entirety. I beg your pardon, miss. Where are the newspaper files?
I'll have to get them for you. What dates did you want to see?
The week of July 30th.
Which paper?
The Times. I'll start with that.
Just a moment.
I want them for the whole week.
Yes, well, here are all the copies for July, bound. And these loose ones are August so far.
Thank you.
They must not be taken out of the reading room. The reading room is to your right. You need them long?
It may take me some time. I don't know. I'm doing some rather intensive research.
Return them to the desk when you're through.
I opened the bound volume near the end and immediately saw his picture, page 1, center. The photograph was blurred, but without reading a word, I recognized him because he matched his hair. I mean, his face went with the back of his head, the one I had seen. The hair growing to a slight widow's peak, eyes widely spaced, gray over light blue, mouth wide, young and strong. Then I read the words above the picture. Young man slain in crowd. That was all I read because at a moment someone spoke to me.
Pardon me. When you're finished with that volume, may I look at it?
It was impossible. It couldn't be. Standing at my shoulder, smiling, young, apparently as alive as I, but it was. He was there. He, my victim. The face and the paper in his face were the same. I swear they were the same.
I'm sorry to bother you. The girl at the desk said you had the July volume of the Times.
Yes,
I'm sorry. Did I startle you?
Your picture. I'm looking at your picture.
My picture? What do you mean, in the paper? I don't see any picture.
I know he's dead. I felt his heart leap like a fish on the point of my knife, then quiver and die. I saw him fall. I must believe that he is truly dead. And the dead neither walk nor speak. But today on Fifth Avenue...
Hello.
What?
What's wrong? Are you ill?
No, I'm all right.
You looked like you were about to faint. You're still green. Are you sure?
I'm all right.
Because I live right near here if you want to lie down.
No, please.
Well, it's up to you. I can't make you come, but I don't like to see anyone suffer needlessly.
August 20th. He doesn't like to see anyone suffer. Yet because of him, there is not one day, 1 hour when I am free from despair and fear. Yes, I accept him now. The dead do walk and talk, at least one dead man does. Inevitably, if I venture out of my house, he finds me. Today, I started down the subway steps at 53rd Street after I'd looked to make sure he wasn't anywhere nearby. But I'd gone only 3 or 4 steps when I felt my arm jostled and I turned.
Pardon. Oh, you again. I'll bet you think I'm haunting you.
Please, what do you want?
Look, I don't want anything. Let's just call it fate or something.
Why don't you let me alone?
I'd begun to think that maybe we were both to be spared this.
So had I.
If I were superstitious, I'd say we had some unfinished business.
Please, will you tell me something? Will you answer one question? Do you believe in compensation?
You'll have to explain what you mean.
If someone does evil, if I have done evil, must I get evil back?
Well, say it again.
Do you believe in good for good, evil for evil? Look, what about killing?
Well, there's all sorts of killing.
But senseless killing. Killing with no reason. What is the compensation for that?
You've asked a pretty complicated question of a pretty simple man. The only thing that comes to my mind right off is what it says in the Bible. An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
That's what you believe? Why, yes, I believe that. Is that any help to you?
Yes. Oh, yes. Anything you say would help. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, like a man. The price asked by the only one who can ask it. What will you have, quoth God? Pay for it and take it. Well, I'll pay. For I've learned that no event between two human beings can happen in a vacuum. We're all enmeshed, bound together through our blood in a pulsing net. And if one of us does violence to another, he does violence to himself. Very well. This price I am glad to pay. There is no other way.
Hello. Are you awake, Mr. Steele?
Where am I?
You're in Washington Hill Hospital. How do you feel?
Hospital, but I mustn't. I have to die.
Not if we can keep you from it.
I have to. Did I bleed much?
Bleed?
Oh, the knife.
You had a heart attack, Mr. Steele. Coronary.
No, I tell you here, I stabbed myself here. Where's the doctor?
Lie down, Mr. Steele. The doctor will be here in a minute.
I have to make him understand. I promised to die.
You promised? Oh, here's the doctor now.
Yes, but you. Of course, you.
Well, Mr. Steele.
I tried to tell her. I tried to tell her that I have to die.
Call another doctor for this patient, nurse.
But, doctor...
You tell her. The earth is made of glass. That if I don't die, you'll always find me. I know that. But tell her. Tell her the evil thing I have done so she'll let me die.
Dr. West, his pulse.
Emerson said it. I carry a malignity in me. But when I die, I make square the eternal account. Make square the eternal account.
Well, Miss Adams, that's all there is. The Journal of Richard Thomas Steele.
Doctor, I don't remember reading of that murder. Do you?
No. No, I don't.
Who was the man he met? Who was it he thought he'd killed?
It was me.
You, Dr. West?
Just as he described it. First in the library, and in the drugstore, near my home, on buses, in the park. I couldn't imagine what was bothering him.
But who did he kill? Really?
I don't know. But I have an idea. Where's the package you found, Miss Coate?
Right here. Shall I open it?
Yes, go on. You see?
The gloves. And the knife.
And they've never been used.
Then he never killed anyone.
No. Richard Steele never drove a knife into a living back. But in his way, he killed. In his mind, he killed. I guess old Emerson would say even for that kind of crime, there's compensation. Commit a crime, and the earth is made of glass.
Roma Wines have brought you Joseph Cotton as star of The Earth is Made of Glass. Tonight's study in Suspense.
This is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines, the sponsor of Suspense. These days, says Miss Elsa Maxwell, world-famous hostess, more and more people serve only one dish for dinner, with a salad and probably a sweet. That's why I'm sure so many more people serve Roma wines, because Roma wines add so much to a simple meal. With a savory pot roast, for example, I recommend glasses of good Roma, California Burgundy, served cool. Now, that's a good suggestion from Elsa Maxwell, for Roma Burgundy is a handsome wine with a good, warm heart. Try it and discover how happily its tart piquancy goes with meats. And if you enjoy cocktails before dinner, you'll make better cocktails with Roma's full-flavored vermouth, sweet or dry, made and bottled in the heart of California's famous vineyards, yet surprisingly low-priced. Try Roma vermouth soon, won't you?
We would like to thank Joseph Cotton for appearing in the place of Clifton Webb, whose illness prevented his being with us this evening. Joseph Cotton appeared through the courtesy of David O. Selznick, producer of Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbound. Next Thursday, you will hear George Murphy in Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Now, the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California presents Suspense.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. George Murphy as star of Death on Highway 99, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines. Those excellent California wines that can add so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness in entertaining guests, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you Mr. George Murphy in a remarkable tale of Suspense.
Dear Julie, the clock here in my room has just struck 7, which means I have about an hour for writing this letter to you. I guess already you've said, who's this from? What goes? So I'll tell you right off. Remember Morton Blake? Speed Blake, they called me in high school. The guy who sat behind you in Algebra 2 and Chemistry? Well, that was more than 7 years ago. And I'm writing to you because there's no one else in the world that I give a darn about. There never has been, Julie, since I saw you the first time. Well, I sure had other plans about you, and that's probably a surprise, too, because I never had the nerve to let you know I was alive before. But as it is with me now, this letter is all you'll ever know. A letter telling what a mess I've made of things, what a mess I've made of my life. You see, Julie, it's because I always decided too late what to do, because I always was a coward. That's why I never spoke up and told you back then what I thought about you until it was too late. And you married someone else. That's why I'm writing you the last letter I'll ever write, to a girl who can't even remember my face. That's why I'm waiting for Captain Shannon to come and get me. You see, Julie, I'm a murderer. Yes, in just a little while, I'll see the squad car pull up outside, and then all the fumbling and mistakes will be over. But I want you to understand, that's all. Because it really was all her fault, Pauline's. Do you remember Pauline? She was that strawberry blonde who hated you so much. Of course, Pauline hated everyone. She was so sharp and mean and not like you. But when you got married, I married Pauline just to show myself that I didn't care. Just because she was there handy and you were lost. It was 5 long years we were clawing each other like 2 cats tied in a sack. Right up to that last night. She'd gone to a show alone. I picked her up afterwards. I was a little late. So she really began riding me. She was in a fine.
One thing after another. I tell you, I've just about had my fill, Maud. I've stood as much as I'm going to.
As much of what?
As much of what?
Oh, look, Pauline, I worked late. I'm tired. Now, why don't you just sit there and be quiet?
Yes, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd like it if I was deaf and dumb. But you won't shut me up, Morton Blake. When I want to talk, I'll talk. What are you stopping for?
It's a boulevard stop sign.
Oh, isn't that silly? It's almost 2 in the morning. There isn't a car in sight.
Oh, Paulie, let me drive the car, will you?
All right, sure. Take your time after I waited almost an hour in the cold. You don't care about anybody but yourself.
Pauline.
What?
Look, let's stop kidding ourselves. Let's be honest for 5 minutes.
Honest. You're a fine one to speak about being honest. I just wonder if it really was work that kept you tonight. After all, I know a couple of
Forget
things.
all that, will you? And listen. What I'm trying to say is our marriage is finished. You know it, and I know it. It was no good before we started.
Yes. And whose fault was that, may I ask? I know what you were thinking of then. I know who you were mooning about. I know that.
Oh, all right. But why should you and I go on? Why don't we just call the whole thing off?
You've been working too hard, Mort. You're delirious. Do you really think I'd ever give you a divorce?
Well, it's as bad for you as it is for me, Pauline. Why not?
I got my reasons.
But we're wasting our lives. You're still young and pretty, and you could get a much better deal.
You think you could, too, don't you, Mort?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, just because you want your freedom so much, it's no go, see? Because I like to make you squirm, because I loathe and despise you. Do you get me, Mort?
Yes, I get you. Pauline, let's don't talk anymore. Let's forget it.
Look, you don't have to speed up just because we started...
Look, a minute ago I was going too slow. You said...
Never mind what I said. Stop going so fast.
Well, I'm under the limit. Dry up.
Mort will turn over.
Oh, I said dry up.
But, Mort, there's somebody on the road. Morton! Look out, they're going to hit him! You hit him. You hit him.
You stay in the car, Pauline.
Don't go, Mort. Eddie's dead.
Maybe. Just stay where you are. He's moving. Hey, mister. Mister, can you hear me?
Oh, not your fault. Couldn't see me in the dark.
Now, don't try to talk. Here, just hang on to me. I'll get you into the car. Good. Now, you're on your feet. Who are you, mister?
Name Haggerty.
Okay, Mr. Haggerty. Take it easy now, and I'll take you to a doctor.
Yes. Doctor, quickly.
He's passed out. Pauline, open the back door.
Is he
He's
dead?
alive. He's alive. Here. There now, if we hurry. We've got to get him to the hospital right away.
Well, there's the result of your temper, Mort.
My temper? Well, you know it wasn't my fault. He jumped right in front of the wheel.
Not your fault. Not your fault.
He doesn't seem to think it was your fault either.
Well, it wasn't. You saw. He ran out from the side without looking.
Oh, sure. You're lucky. As usual, Mort.
Lucky? What are you talking about?
The streets are completely deserted.
Well, it's late. What's so strange about that?
Nothing. There weren't any witnesses.
Well, that's right. No witnesses except him and you.
Yes. That's right. Him and me. What's your hurry, Morton?
What's my... Well, I've got to get him to a hospital. He may be dying.
No, Mort. He's not dying. You don't have to hurry. He's dead.
Just like that. Like she was handing me a birthday present. I pulled the car to the curb and got into the back seat. The old man was sprawled across the cushions, his head twisted back. When I put my face down, there wasn't a whisper of any breathing on my cheek. I slipped my hand inside his coat. Still as stone. Not a flicker from his heart. I crawled back under the wheel and sat there thinking.
Mort.
Yeah.
You know what you've done?
Yeah, he's dead.
That means you're guilty of... What is it, Mort? Murder?
No, it's not murder.
Or manslaughter. And even manslaughter will mean prison. Won't it, Mort?
Huh?
I said manslaughter will mean prison, won't it?
Prison? No, it wasn't my fault. You heard him say so.
Yeah. If I testify that I heard, then you'll get off. That it?
Why? Well, you'll have to testify, or else...
Or else what, Morton?
Or else I'll be sent up. There weren't any other witnesses.
That's right, Morton.
Hey, what are you trying to tell me?
Mort, you must have imagined that poor man said it wasn't your fault.
What?
Because I didn't hear him say a thing.
You're lying. You're lying, Pauline. You heard him. As soon as I put him in the car, he said it's not your fault.
Can you prove it, Mort?
Can I prove?
This is what I've wanted, Morton. I'll have my freedom, but you won't have yours. You'll be that jailbird Speed Blake. And you'll have years and years and years to think about the other girls you used to know. Won't you, Mort?
I looked at her. She had a thin smile on her lips. I got a crawling feeling at the back of my neck. I held onto the wheel so tight my knuckles began to ache.
Well, Morton, what are you waiting for?
What was I waiting for? What had I always waited for?
Well, Morton.
I began to think of something. A line my beloved wife's ran through my brain. No witnesses. There were no witnesses.
Why, wait, Mort. Be a man.
No witnesses. There were no witnesses. I could dump the old man's body somewhere on the edge of town and no one would be the wiser. No one but Pauline. But what if there was no Pauline?
Where are you going? This isn't the way, Mort. Morton, look at that speedometer. You're going the wrong way, Mort. We're way past the city limits. Morton, stop this car at once. Stop it, do you hear?
Okay. I'll stop the car, Pauline.
Oh. Mort, you didn't really believe me when I said I wouldn't testify? Did you, Mort?
Yes, I believed you.
But I was only kidding. I wouldn't think of not telling you.
I believed you, Pauline.
But you know I'd never do
I believed you, and so I'm going to kill you.
You're joking.
Am I?
You wouldn't dare, Mort. Anyway, how could you?
Look outside, Pauline. Did you notice where we are?
What do you mean?
We're on Austin Bluff. Remember the cliff just ahead?
Oh, Martin.
Must be at least 300 feet to the bottom. It's a pretty picture, huh, baby?
Oh, please.
Come
Please,
on.
Martin.
Come on, get out of the car.
No.
Oh, yes, we're going for a walk, Pauline. A walk in the moonlight. Just you and me. After 5 years, we ought to have a little romance, we two. She didn't budge. Her eyes blazed at me. I got out of the car and closed the door. Walked around to the other side to pull her out. But she locked the door from the inside before I got there. I ran fast, back to the other side. I wasn't fast enough. She'd locked that door. And the back doors, too. She and Haggerty were locked in. Oh, it made me crazy wild to see her little white face in there. The face that had kept me from anything a guy could want in life. Open up. Open up the door. You can't get away. I got the key, so quit stalling. Open up. Stop it. Stop that horn or I'll... Okay, I'll fix that. You won't keep that racket up long, sweetheart. Let's see now. Which is it? There. Got him. You see, Pauline? You'd be smart to come out and get it over with. I pressed my face against the glass. She was crouched down in the front seat. Her eyes watched every move I made. She was trapped and she knew it. I could see Haggerty in the back seat, his head still twisted back. His eyes were shut and his sprawled old body had a look of pain and surprise. Even wild like I was, I felt bad about him, but I had to hurry. Pauline was fooling with the lights, flashing them on and off. I fell around on the ground and I found a good solid rock. I picked it up and I showed it to her. Open up. This is your last chance or I'll smash the window. Okay, whatever you say, baby. Here we go.
No, Mort, no.
And now for that walk.
No, don't.
Come on.
No, don't, Mort. Don't hurt me, please.
Come on.
Hurt me.
Come on, I'll stop that screaming. Now, I think it's a clear drop here. No ledge. See that glow down there? That's water. Taylor Creek. Clear all the way down. Oh, you want to talk, huh? Okay, talk. You can even yell. No one will hear you now.
You can't do this, Mort. I promise I won't hurt you. You're not the kind of person to kill. You can't do it, Mort. You can't do it.
Can't I?
No, please.
You'd
please.
be surprised what I can
Mort,
do, Pauline.
Please, let me. No, please. Stop it,
Goodbye,
Mort.
baby. Goodbye. Sweet dreams.
Roma Wines are bringing you as star Mr. George Murphy in Death on Highway 99 by Larry Marcus and Robert Light. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. Evening is the mellow time of the day, and the time for a mellow wine, a pleasureful wine like Roma California Port. Says famed hostess Elsa Maxwell, at night after dinner, relax in the living room and enjoy a glass of delicious Roma Port, served cool. I find Roma Port is delightful, too, with sandwiches or snacks. Yes, red Roma Port is rich and fruity, a proud and gracious wine in a family of great wines. Like all Roma wines, Roma Port is the happy result of carefully selected grapes gathered at flavor fullness in California's finest vineyards, gently pressed to capture natural goodness. Then, by a process as slow and as old as time, brought to magnificent liquid perfection by the unhurried care of Roma's ancient winemaking skill. And finally, bottled at the wineries in California. All Roma wines are true wines, unvaryingly good always, and so inexpensive, too. Remember, because of uniformly fine quality at reasonable cost, more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine. Always ask for Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma Wines.
And now Roma Wines bring back to our Hollywood soundstage George Murphy as Morton Blake in Death on Highway 99, a play well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Yes, Julie, I did it. And when you get this letter, you'll be the only person who'll really know why. Who'll know that I'm only sorry that I didn't kill her sooner. All right, so you can't quite remember which guy I was, if I was the tall one or the red-headed one, or if you spoke to me when you saw me in the hall. That doesn't matter to you or to me now. What matters is that I lived with her for 5 years. 5 years I might have spent at least thinking about you. Well, it was done. I climbed back in the car. The clock on the dash said 20 after 2. I still had to get rid of the old man's body before daylight, so I started driving. When I came to a strip of forest along the road, I stopped my car and I got out. And right then, the beam of a spotlight pinned me in my tracks. I didn't move. I saw it was a cop.
Hey, what you doing there?
He started walking toward me, rolling his motorcycle.
No parking anywhere along the highway, mister.
Okay, officer. Okay, I didn't know.
This ain't no lover's lane. You gotta keep moving.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get going right away, officer.
Say, you're not carrying any vegetables in your car, are you?
Vegetables? No,
There's a beetle thing going on again. I just better take a look in the back there.
Oh, there's nothing in there, honest. What?
Listen. Where does that guy think he's going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's speeding all right, isn't he?
Say, am I going to slap a ticket onto him? But you clear out of here, mister, and don't ever park in the driveway again.
No. Never again. So I took another road and got back on Highway 99. By then I felt jittery. I smoked one cigarette after another, and the sweat was rolling down my face. I found another spot, and this time I made sure I was alone. Then I parked the car, and I opened the back door. I reached in for Haggerty's body. He was still limp and warm, and really, I was sorry about him. You see, that proves I wasn't the killer. That proves it was her fault, Pauline. And if she hadn't been like she was, I never would have killed. Not anyone. Well, I got the old man out onto the road, and I left him there. When I got home, I put the car in the garage and looked it over to see that everything was okay. No blood on the seat. That was a break. The window was broken, of course, but I could fix that. There was mud on the tires, so I got out the garden hose and washed them down. Then I went into the house. I was pretty nervous. I knew I'd have to be on my toes for the next 3 or 4 days, so I took a couple of sleeping pills. They did the trick. I was asleep the minute my head hit the pillow. The telephone sounded like it was ringing miles away. I didn't know if it was day or night. But I stumbled down the hall, shaking my head, trying to clear my brain. Hello? Hello?
Is this Martin Blake?
Yes.
This is Sergeant Graham down at headquarters.
Yeah. Is anything wrong?
I got some bad news for you, Blake.
Bad news?
Yeah. A report just came in from the East Precinct. A couple of campers found a body at the bottom of the cliff.
Yes?
Well, it's tough to tell you, but, well, the body's been identified as your wife, Pauline.
It looked like an accident. They didn't suspect a thing. I was in the clear. The sleeping pills were still working. I wanted to go back to bed, but I didn't dare. I had to get down to that morgue right away to identify what was left of Pauline. I thought that might throw me, but I was as cold as steel when they took me in to see her. They were watching me, so I pulled an act.
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy there. Here, sit down here.
Oh.
I get you some water.
Oh, thanks. I'm all right now.
Here. Take a swallow of this.
Oh, thank you. See, I guess you must get pretty hardened to these things after a while.
Yeah. See him every day. I don't know. You never really get used to it. We had another sad case this morning.
Another accident?
Yeah. They brought in an old fella. Found him on Highway 99. Smacked by a hit-and-run driver.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's a nasty business. Of course, this old man isn't dead, but still you never... Hey, you're jumpy. Here, I'll get you another glass.
Oh, thanks. You see, seeing my wife, I guess...
Sure. I understand. Yeah. Just take it easy now.
Thank you.
Feel better?
Oh, yeah, sure. You were telling me the old man wasn't dead?
No. And just by luck, one of the boys got a very faint heartbeat when he felt his pulse. We went to work on him fast, and looks like he's going to pull through.
Well, that's sure a break. For him, I mean.
Yeah. He's at the receiving hospital. The report is he's coming along fine. He got a bad smack in the head. Lost his memory.
Oh. For good?
No. They say it's only temporary. Oh. They think when he snaps out of it, he may even remember the dirty rat that hit him.
Haggerty was alive. Alive. Well, of course, I should have been glad. The poor old guy had never done anything to me. But I couldn't think that way then. Haggerty was alive, and he'd remember me. And he'd remember Pauline was with me. I almost gave up. I almost shouted, all right, I did it. I killed my wife. But something kept me fighting. Long enough to get out of there. Long enough to drive to the hospital where Haggerty was. It was an awful chance to take, but I couldn't stay away. I was just walking up to the desk to find out its room number.
Blake. Aren't you Morton Blake?
Yes, I am.
I'm Captain Shannon from headquarters. I just saw you down at the morgue.
Oh, yes, I didn't remember.
Yeah, well, can't tell you how sorry I am about your wife.
Oh, thank you very much, Captain.
Funny running into you here.
Yes, I thought I'd find out if I could get a room and take a rest for a few days. I feel pretty well shot.
Yes, I can imagine. But I don't think you have a chance the way hospitals are crowded. You'd better get your rest at home. Get a friend to stay with you.
Yes, I guess you're right, Captain.
I'd drive you home, but I get called down on this hit-and-run case.
Oh, the old man, the attendant at the morgue was telling me.
He was? Oh, well, shouldn't talk to you about such things the way you feel. Oh, but it looks like it all turned out all right. The old man's only shocked, not even a bad bruise or broken bone. He's conscious now, so I'm going up to talk to him.
Do you think he'll know who hit him?
Oh, they said over the phone he has a good description, and even if it isn't good, we've got the tire print of the car and the footprint of the driver.
You have? From where?
Yeah, there was a lot of mud where the car stopped. The driver was careless. That kind usually are. There's a doctor on the case now. Dr. Lee.
Yes?
I was just going to walk up and talk to the old Haggerty.
Oh, yes, I know. Did the nurse tell you he described the driver, Captain?
Yes. I'm going to take it down and then make the arrest.
Fine, but would you mind waiting about 2 hours? The old man's sleeping now, and rest is important to a man his age.
Mind, Doctor? No. What's time to me? It's 2 hours more for the hit-and-run driver, whoever he is, to wonder just how smart he really was. And we know the answer.
So, Julie, I'm waiting now. I'm writing you all this because I got a crazy idea that you have a right to know. You, a girl I knew 7 years ago, who won't remember me, who won't remember that nickname, Speed, or if I had freckles. I did. Or if you signed my book on class day. You didn't because I didn't have the nerve to ask you. So maybe it isn't a real girl at all that I'm writing this to. I guess I'm writing to how I failed. To how I never did anything in time. To how I thought good and acted bad. You see, what I think you were adds up to how much I failed. I guess every guy in the world has someone like you. A girl in a blue dress. And success is having her now, not back a long way in the past. They drove up now. Captain Shannon and, yes, a couple of cops. And Haggerty. Old Haggerty's walking. Okay. Well, I only got seconds to get ready for them. So goodbye, Julie. Goodbye. All right, you can come in. It isn't locked.
I brought Mr. Haggerty, Blake. I think we all ought to have a little talk.
Oh, sure. Sure, I know.
This is the man, isn't it, Haggerty?
Oh, yes, but I told you, Captain, it wasn't his fault.
You told him. You told him what?
Of course. I stepped out and you couldn't miss hitting me.
But he left you there. You might have been dying, Haggerty.
I know. He got scared. I don't blame him. I'm not going to make any charges, Captain, and that's that.
Well, I guess that's all, Blake.
Oh.
You ought to be happy about it.
But didn't he tell you about Pauline? About my wife?
What about your wife?
Well, that she was with me in the car?
Last night? Your wife was with you? Haggerty.
He didn't tell you? And now it's too late.
Well, what's wrong with you, Blake? Somebody get some water.
It's too late. I took cyanide when you drove up. It's too late. You see, I killed Pauline.
But Haggerty never said...
I know now. He didn't see it. He passed out before I put him in the car. But it's too late. It's funny about me, Captain. I was always too late. And they used to call me Speed. Oh, Speed Blake.
Wines have brought you George Murphy as star of Death on Highway 99. Tonight's study in Suspense.
Before Mr. Murphy returns to our microphone, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines, the sponsor of Suspense. Tomorrow is Friday, so if you are planning a fish dinner, serve pale golden Roma California Sauterne, the perfect wine with fish. Famed hostess Elsa Maxwell says, Roma Sauterne tastes exactly right with every kind of seafood. I serve my guests chilled Roma Sauterne often because it adds so much to the pleasures of dining. Yes, you'll enjoy the delicacy of fragrance and taste goodness of Roma Sauterne with fish or fowl. They are perfect flavor mates. Just before dinner, mix up some cocktails with full-flavored Roma vermouth, sweet or dry, made and bottled in the heart of California's famous vineyards. The better vermouth that makes better cocktails. Get Roma Sauterne and Roma vermouth the next time you shop. Always ask for Roma, R-O-M-A, and enjoy the best for only pennies a glass.
This is George Murphy with an important word from our government. The government is speeding expansion of civilian production and maintaining price and wage controls which are still necessary to safeguard our economy against the danger of inflation. You can help by spending sensibly, cooperating with price and rationing controls still in effect, holding out of your war bonds, and continuing to save for the future by buying as many victory bonds as you can afford.
George Murphy appeared through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Producers of Our Vines have tender grapes. Next Thursday, you will hear Mr. Joseph Cotton as star of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.